Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to another episode of News Dose, where we give you all of the latest news in the gaming industry. And Happy New Year's! Hope everybody had a good 2019, and I wish you a great 2020. With that said, we do have a few things to talk about today. A new Sony patent came out for virtual reality, and as we all know, Sony is working on PlayStation VR 2, and it may be getting hand tracking, so we're going to talk about that here in just a moment. We do have some other stuff to discuss as well, including Shin Megami Tensei V and a new Sonic may be releasing in 2020. Also, a PlayStation representative is going to be at CES, which may be good news for those who think PlayStation 5 will be revealed there and more, so stay tuned for all that. But yes, let's first talk about PlayStation VR because we got a new patent out that could advance PlayStation VR a little bit further. So here we got to see this new virtual reality patent by Sony that I would assume is for PlayStation VR 2, and it does show off some cool new technology where you can use gestures with your fingers and hands, and it should be replicated within the game. So more or less this would be hand tracking. Now this isn't anything particularly new. I mean, Oculus Rift S as well as the Oculus Quest offers this same type of technology, but it does allow for a more immersive experience within games. From my own experience, being able to use your index fingers as an example will allow you to do simple things such as pressing a button inside the game. It may not really sound like all that much, but the whole point of virtual reality is to immerse yourself within the game, so I'm happy to see Sony push their technology to make PlayStation VR 2 better and more immersive. Though the patent does mention something interesting here, and that this new user interface will support multiple devices, including PlayStation consoles, as well as Nintendo and Microsoft. Again, this is just a user interface, it's not necessarily the PlayStation VR headset itself, and in fact it can be used on non-VR devices as well, but I do assume it will be used with PlayStation VR 2. This type of technology with hand tracking is perfect for virtual reality headsets. So theoretically, does that mean PlayStation VR 2 could be compatible with devices such as Xbox or PC? I could see PlayStation maybe trying to put it on PC, but even then, I'm not really entirely sure. This patent could just be signifying that they are allowing other manufacturers use this technology in their own devices, which would make sense. That would mean that you could see this hand gesture technology in more headsets going forward from other manufacturers. Granted, this is just a patent for the time being, so this doesn't necessarily mean it will happen either. It is interesting to think about though, as the PlayStation VR 2 headset may have hand tracking similar to something like the Oculus Rift S. It is a nice step forward in virtual reality technology, but something I would like to see them do is have the cameras on the headset itself. This would get rid of something like the external camera that you have to place in front of your TV, and it's just one less thing to plug in. Either way, this is very exciting for PlayStation VR. I mean, I think that hand tracking is a nice step forward. But let me know if you're excited for the next generation PlayStation VR headset. Let me know in the comments below. And speaking of Sony, we talked about this yesterday, but there is some speculation about Sony revealing the PlayStation 5 at CES 2020. And while I'm still very skeptical about this, mainly because CES isn't really known for gaming, I personally think it would be more likely that they just show their new TV there or something like that, but one interesting thing did happen yesterday because the God of War director Cory Barlog posted on Twitter how he would be at his first ever CES next week. Now there is a chance he is just going to CES for fun, but when people are already thinking that PlayStation 5 may be at CES and he is also there, it does get you to start thinking maybe this is actually possible. They could also show off the new PlayStation VR headset, though I think it would make sense to show the PlayStation 5 off first. I still don't think the PlayStation 5 will be there, but maybe Sony wants to end some of these rumors about the recent specs, or they feel Xbox is gaining too much momentum with the Xbox Series X, so they feel they need to react fast. I mean, it's possible. You just never really know about these type of things, so even though I think it's very doubtful that they will actually show it at CES, it may be worth paying attention to at the very least. In other news, we got some Sega-related content, one being Sonic may actually have a new game coming out in 2020. Of course, there is the Sonic movie coming to theaters early in the year, but the Sonic team did announce a new campaign with a new logo and promotional art. This will be running for the next 12 months with all things related to Sonic, but fans have started to find hints to maybe a new possible Sonic game. Now, this is no confirmation, but I could definitely see this happening. I think capitalizing on the new Sonic movie would be a smart thing, and whether or not that movie's actually good or not, that's not really the point. I mean, there's going to be people watching this, so I think it would be smart to capitalize on that. Though when it comes to Sonic, I do always wonder about quality. Sonic has been kind of a hit or miss for quite a while now. On one hand, you had Sonic Mania, which was absolutely fantastic, and I even really enjoyed Team Sonic Racing last year, though it didn't really seem like it was very successful in terms of sales, but it was good, so there was that. But then you also have games like Sonic Forces, which didn't turn out all that well. In fact, the Sonic team have seemed to struggle with 3D Sonic games just overall. I'd like to see another 2D Sonic myself, but what about you? Would you like to see 2D or 3D? Let me know in the comments below. Sega and Atlus also talked about Shin Megami Tensei V, and this game was actually announced a long time ago. I believe it was shown near the launch of the Nintendo Switch, though I may be remembering that wrong. But since that point, people have kind of wondered what happened with that game. I mean, we haven't really heard or seen this game since that point, but Atlus took to Twitter and tweeted out, "Please look forward to the follow-up Shin Megami Tensei V." This could mean an announcement may be imminent. They already did confirm that they would be talking about it in 2020, but when is the question? Could we get a Nintendo Direct soon and possibly talk about it there? I would like to think so, and I'm hoping this will release in 2020, but we have to wait and see more about that. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the Untitled Goose Game, because it has went on to sell 1 million copies. That's really good for an indie game. It's very impressive and it's very well deserved. This is a very good game, and I know it may look a little odd, but this is actually a really hysterical game. Of course, it's been on the Nintendo Switch for a while now, but it did just release on the Xbox, PlayStation, and it's even on Xbox Game Pass. Definitely go check it out if you haven't already, but a big congratulations to the developers of House. Anyways, though, that's it for this episode, but if you liked the video, don't forget to hit that bell notification and subscribe button. Peace out.